So, welcome to the second half of Sunny Rabo Live. And, this next topic, I know will affect all of all of us, not just you alone, the same way probably I reacted to the Edo State situation. You know, PMS, petrol, pump price, take-home pay, minimum wage, all of them. But the crux of today's matter is that Dangote, Aliko Dangote, he has a refinery that produces 650,000 barrels a day. Huge, largest in the world. And yet, Nigeria has 4 refineries, most of which are not working. In fact, I hear all the 4 are not working, but Dangote refinery is working, and so it's producing PMS for the average Nigerian, so to speak, the motor user, and then, of course, for the rest of the world, those who care to join to buy from us. But what is the pump price? That's one. Number 2, who is the sole buyer? Number 3, how does it affect the average Nigerian, the ordinary man on the street, as we say? Does the take-home pay take him home? Well, I have Dr. Boniface Chizea, foremost economic analyst, a business, and you used to be a lecturer with the business schools, and now I know that we deal with him a lot, we're always talking about how he does this or does that, what's your take about this PMS issue, what's the pump price? Well, too much monologue. So, Dr. Boniface, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Sonny.
Right.
Thank you very much.
What are we doing today? Yes.
Well, Sonny, I think that this whole thing is confusing to all of us. I think that what we are going through now is very difficult to understand. What you didn't say in your intro is the fact that Dangote, Aliko Dangote, on camera, they say to Nigerians that he's ready to supply, roll out supply, move on the trucks of fuel to Nigeria. Within 48 hours, he gets the green light from NNPC. That's where we stand. I think they said that, and then we are still languishing. So I think for us, it's inexplicable, and that's why some of us have done 2 posts on this matter. But I can't get my brain wrapped around what is happening. So you have queues, excruciating queues. You have lots of man hours. People are suffering everywhere. The optics is not good. And then you have somebody that says he's going to supply. People say maybe they need to sort out the price, whatever it is. You can have a low-hanging fruit like this, vis-a-vis the problem that's confronting your nation, and you are not doing anything about it. And then NNPC, at some point in time, they've not been consistent. They say they're going to be the sole buyers and so on and so forth. They say want to regulate the price and then keep up. There should be no more talk of subsidy once Dangote comes on board. I've argued, in fact, that once we start producing and we remove, the cost of importation, demurrage, insurance, and so on. Well, I listened to somebody on television say, the cost is not significant.
Let me ask you, what is the price now? Who controls the price? Who fixes it? Is it Dangote Refinery or NNPC?
Well, I think there's some confusion about it. It's NNPC. NNPC is the one that has been sole importer. And the NNPC is supposed to be, to have gone to the market. It's supposed to be a privatized company. Well, I know that we're in a midway house, on that journey. So I think that there are some issues that we need to tidy up. But we have a PIA, the Petroleum Industry Act that has been signed, and it's supposed to be privatized. So that for once, we'd expect that we'll have some transparency, happening in that organization. So, the opacity, what's happening in that organization, has been a problem to everybody. I remember that MS Sanusi never gets tired of asking NNPC, where are the dollars? Show us the dollars. What's happening with dollars? So I think it's a terrible thing. And people are saying that, the fact that Melek Kyari has been left there, then he's just playing according to the rules, So, shouting around, the president is the minister of petroleum. He is. And then all this is happening, and we're going through all this, and then you increase price from 615.20 to 897 in Nigeria. Do they know the implications of that? And then the president goes to China, and he says, sometimes you have to take hard decision. I want to tell the president today that he is not managing this economy well. You don't take hard decisions
Who
that will
isn't
inflict
managing the
pain
economy
on
well?
people.
Who?
Yeah, it's not managing it well. The president.
Okay. All right. Now, let me
Yes.
ask you. Yeah,
Yes.
now, there was a news that came out just before this program came on that Dangote was now free to sell to marketers apart from NNPC, who was initially the sole buyer. Is that news correct? If it
Well,
is,
I've not got that. Today I've been fairly busy. I've been at a wedding, so I've not tracked developments. So I've not listened to
okay.
the news. Right. Media news. So you're just telling me this. I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yes. Okay.
So if that is the case, then that should be the beginning to the solution of this problem.
If that is the case, will that positively influence the price of the pump?
Well, people are saying that Dangote is a private company. He's taking dollars, it has to pay back, and so on. And when he begins to supply, that maybe that's why they're trying to jack up the pump price and so on and so forth. But let Dangote supply. I think Dangote first of all has to be patriotic to some extent. We know it's a private business, but then Nigeria is going through a very difficult time. So with respect that he would come, he has a board. So Dangote is for shouting out loud, is a privatized company, is a private company, is a private investment. And so Dangote and his board, of course, Nigeria is a shareholder. We're supposed to have 20%. At that time, we're told it's 7 point whatever percent because we're not able to meet up with the payments that were required.
This appears to be
yes.
a nation of comedy of errors. If that is the case,
that's what is becoming. Yes.
What do you advise we should do to? This is because, look, Venezuela is an oil-producing country. Yes. So is Libya. So is Angola. Yes. Nigeria is regarded as the highest or the largest of the African nations. Okay. Why can't we get it right in such a way that the ordinary man on the street does not necessarily have to suffer the consequences of this kind of, price imbroglio?
Well, I think that's why I said earlier that the president missed the point. He's been president, the head of this government for 1 year plus, and we have 3 refineries he inherited. They were not working up till now. They are not working. And so, at the time he removed subsidy, like he did, I was on record. I did say that wasn't the way to go, because that's going to inflict punishment, hardship on people. I think he's playing with fire. He's playing with fire, I'll tell you.
Can you enlighten us more? Sorry about that. Can you enlighten us more about this idea of removal of subsidy? Where is the subsidy in the first place? And why is there a need for a removal? Because there has never been any change in the price situation. So
Sonny, what it is under recovery. So it's not that I've heard people say this. I think that people are not getting the right handle on this matter. What's happening is that you import petroleum products and then you pay. So you have to pay in dollars, and then you cost share, and then you go to the pump and then you put it in naira, and then that price you put in naira, it does not recover the cost what you spent. And so the gap which you spent, you've already spent this money, that gap which you didn't recover, that's the subsidy. And so when I hear people saying people who got the subsidy and so on, no, of course we know that given the values we bring to the table, that sometimes those the landing costs and so on and so forth are inflated because of corruption everywhere. Those are going to steal and so on and so forth. And we are revising to embrace technology and embrace artificial intelligence to stop people from stealing crude, to stop people from come to terms with corruption in this environment. We're refusing to do that. But so that's exactly what is happening. So you buy the thing, and then what you recover by way of pump price does not meet up So that money, you spend the money, and then what you are recovering is not up to what you spent. That's a subsidy. So it's not as if, so people are asking this question. They're saying, who got the first subsidy? Where is it? Where was it paid? They're checking the books. They didn't see it. No, it's not that. Yes, it's not that's why we talk of,
do you
cost recoveries. Yeah,
do
if you
you,
spend the money, you are not recovering it.
do you suspect cabal? Is there some kind of cabal influence in this whole scenario where even though Dangote invested so much money into setting up the world's largest refinery, he must get his money back, yeah?
Yes.
But how does
Well,
this now positively influence or affect the ordinary man on the street without the necessary
well, if you
intervention
talk
or what would you call it now? Well, the influence of the cabal, the unnecessary influence of cabal in this whole matter. How can we curb cabalism? My phrase.
well,
How
I think
can we
that
curb
Dangote is on record.
cabalism?
Dangote, well, Dangote is on record to have said, I listened to him, I'm not saying somebody told me, he said the cabal in fuel importation is stronger than the cabal in drugs, hard drugs. He said so. And that was when he released the facts, about the Malta, where you can find crude and so on and so forth. He revealed the fact that, there are lots of conflict of interest. You know what Dangote is coming up against? Why we've not been able to repair, a domestic refinery is because you have conflict of interest situation. You have those who have tank farms. You have people that built up massive income revenues, from this importation. And if that stops, you know what that would mean to them, what it will mean to their business. And we're talking of people who are holding this country on the jugular. People, very powerful people, and so they are trying to do everything, to stop this. Something, you go to recruit those who still are crude and take it overseas. Are they not those who are supposed to be, protecting us? When you have such a situation, so you take the crude, you take it, and those who are supposed to, to police the thing and make sure it's not taken, are those who are doing it. And who's going to arrest who? So I think that's exactly what it is. So it made it clear to us that the cabal is very strong, and you can see it's up against the cabal. Otherwise this shouldn't be happening. It's a private sector. What they should discuss with Dangote now is maybe at what price, make sure that the price is going to put out. Look, they are joking because what is happening now, we had inflation rate come down a bit, from 34.19 to 33.4 or so. It's going to go back up. It will go up fiercely. And we're going to have some problems. The Naira is going to head for 2,000 Naira before the end of the year. And if you're not careful, very soon, goods in the shops, you will not find them again. Unemployment will not be there. And this is a country of 200 plus with massive multidimensional poverty rate in the economy. And we are playing with fire. We are playing with fire.
Okay. Let's look at the essence of the rule of law. I mean, I would like to see a country like Nigeria, so it's heavily populated, but has natural resources, and so should be a true giant of Africa, not just by name, but by resource orientation and internally generated revenue. Some tongue twister there. But then, how do we allow the rule of law to play its role? Because when you talk about cabal, corruption, and as if they are above the law, how? Where's the rule of law?
Well, Sonny, yeah. Factually, Nigeria is a giant of Africa. There's no two about it. So if you look at our resource endowment, so it's obvious, from that perspective. But what it's turning out to be is that we are a giant with clay feet. That's exactly what it is. So we are punching way below our weight. We talk of state capture, that word, I've used it on television a couple of times. Judiciary is also under state capture. And so you cannot go to the judiciary today and expect you are going to get justice. So justice is paid, but that's exactly what it is. Yeah, when you look at well, the immediate past Chief Justice of the Federation, did make that observation, and he did say so. So the judiciary is a problem. And also the way the structures and systems we have in the place, it does not, justice delayed is justly denied. So he said so. You go to the Supreme Court, the cases that are waiting there in the Supreme Court, the cases go there, they languish. You don't get judgment, for over a long time. No, that's not justice. So
Are we taking the people for granted? Because normally now I expect that somebody should be able to afford a normal food stuff in the market. But with pump price dictating the pace and financial status of the nation and the flow of money, liquidity for that matter, take home pay cannot take anybody home. So what is the market scenario? And how can we address it to the positive expectation of the people?
Well, I think that this is why those of us who backed the protest, those of us who supported the protest, was because we felt, that we are being taken for granted. It's still happening. And if you're not careful, it might get out of hand. We're being taken for granted, and so people just felt, so I'm in power, and then I can do whatever you can say whatever you want to say. You can say you're allowed. Even now, you're not even being allowed to talk anymore. Now, those who even participated in the protest, if you search Google, it tells you 1,000 people are being held in detention. And we just heard that they're going to be charged for treason. For goodness sake, people are hungry, and the signs were there for a long time. What did you expect them to do? And then people to protest is allowed in any democracy. All that is required, that it should be peaceful. That's all. We know that once you have a protest on your hands, sometimes it's difficult for you to police. And it happened on this occasion. But when it happened, we felt that what happened would knock some sense into some of our people in governance, so they will know that they cannot take Nigerians for granted. And from what has happened so far, it does not seem as if that message has gotten home. To the extent to which it should get home, I don't think it's gotten home. You can see people are giving notices. NANS, the National Association of Nigerian Students, they're saying that come 15th September, there's going to be a shutdown, there's going to be massive protest. And Labour has also served notice, so you can't go on like that. You can't just hike up and then you say you have to take tough decisions. Taking it's not tough decisions are not needed. You have to, first of all, the essence of governance is the welfare and well-being of the citizens. If the people are not happy, if people are hungry and people are dying, so whom are you taking decisions for? And rarely this shouldn't happen. Like I said earlier on, you should do certain things to make sure it doesn't get here. Fix the refinery, fight the bandits, fight them. Why can't we, control the bandits? Yes. Why can't we get people back to farm? Get back to farm. What can't we bring back?
Yeah, you have a minute or two to go. Do you see any compromise from leadership in terms of securing the sovereign nature of the country, so the sovereign territorial integrity of Nigeria? Do you see compromise?
Sonny, I think that things have gotten to a very bad spot. See, we've allowed things to deteriorate. Now, let me tell you, the reality of the matter is that we are in a very tight corner, whereby they've borrowed money and so on. They go to World Bank, they borrow money, and there's a grace period. They think that it's not for them to pay. In fact, we've bust what should be our. If you go to Fiscal Responsibility Act, what should be our debt limit. So we are in a very tight corner today because we did not do what we should do. I just give you two examples. If we got the refineries working, if we drove bandits away, got people back to the farm, you will go to Zamfara, where they have solid minerals, and it's been pilfered, it's been taken, planes will fly in and take them out. There are so many areas you address the issue in a roundabout way. What we're doing now is you're taking decisions. Suddenly you just wake up and you see my pump price goes from 620, whatever, 5 or 15 to 879. What is that? That's the thing. Are you thinking about, and say tough decision? Tough decision for who? For after the people are dead and buried? Who is going to be tough decision for Nigeria when it becomes a graveyard?
Thank you.
Let us wake up to reality.
Dr. Boniface Chizea, thank you so much. This is how far we can go on this program today. And I really must commend you for your steadfast effort at trying to see the best for Nigeria and Nigerians.